A big part of what our focus is on helping utilities make more efficient use of the grid. I'll give you an example. The Exelon utilities, 5-6 years ago, 3/4 of their enterprise value was in their generating fleet, nuclear power plants primarily. Because of the price of natural gas, the business direction has changed, and now their business, especially after the acquisition of Pepco, is 3/4 in their distribution utilities.
Right.
And Exelon has pivoted and said, rather than being a generating company, we're going to be a data and customer company. And one way in which they've done this is they've built basically a gigawatt of virtual capacity. That is to say that they're now, as they look at increasingly volatile supply and volatile pricing on supply from renewables, they're looking at a world where they're trying to manage their demand as well as traditional utilities manage supply. Right. One area in which we're partnered with them in this regard is in Baltimore. They have 1.2 million residential customers at Baltimore Gas and Electric. They've put each and every one of their customers onto a peak time rebate tariff. So all of us, actually by show of hands, how many of you pay different amounts of electricity depending on what time of day you use electricity? So roughly a third of the audience. In the US, 75% of people think that that's the way their electricity prices work. And only 4% of people, actually 4% of people in California, it's less than 1% of people across the country actually are on a tariff that varies by time. But everybody in Baltimore actually is. And they get rebates if they save money on the peak days during the summertime. It's far cheaper for the utility to pass along an incentive to them instead of building out more distribution capability or going to buy expensive power from an expensive generator.
Right.
So our partnership, they tell us the evening before an event, tomorrow is going to be a peak event, and we say, Mr. Bussey, we send him an email or a text message or a phone call. Tomorrow
a peak event like a hot day.
On a hot day, right. Anybody who's been Baltimore or anywhere in the mid-Atlantic in a hot day in August can sort of picture the humidity. So we send a text message or email or a personalized phone call. Mr. Bussey, tomorrow is a peak day. As a reminder, between these hours, if you save energy, you can earn a rebate on your bill. Somebody else we might send, Mr. Broom, we might send a environmental message about the value of doing this. We send these messages. Third party comes in and measures the impact. And then the next day, we send the morning after the event a communication. Mr. Bussey, thank you very much for participating. You earned $11. You'll see it reflected on your next bill. Right. We've been at it for 3 summers with Baltimore Gas and Electric. Last summer, on average, a reduction in 18% at peak, just by giving people better information and giving them a price signal. In a world in which we're using half the grid's capacity at any one time, being able to flex demand is going to become increasingly critical.